The second semi-final in the Amber Springs and Ashdown Park Hotel Intermediate Football Championship is Fethard St Mogues against Taghmon-Camross. And we'll go to Alex first. Alex, you saw Fethard first hand yesterday. What did you make of him?
Yeah, it's still fresh in the memory. Unfortunately, we lost that game. Fethard were the better team on the day, no doubt about that. They're strong all round. I was very impressed with Gareth Foley. Adam Swan as well in defence. He was exceptional, especially the runs he was making up the field. I think he chipped in with a score or two as well. You have Mikey Dwyer, tricky as ever, and I mean John Tubbett was exceptional. Some of the scores he picked off yesterday, so they're all real threats. They haven't lost a game this year. I think maybe they have a draw against Gorey, that's it. But they're going well. They're going to be up for this because, as far as I think, they played Temon in the quarter final of the hurling and they lost that. So they'll both be able to get one another again. So yeah, they're a good side, Fethard. I'd just be a little weary in the second half of our game. They kind of took the foot off the pedal, I thought, a little bit. Now we came back into it too, but I mean, you have to be more clinical going forward into a semi-final. You can't take the foot off the pedal after, maybe they're up by 9 points, but still you have to keep driving on. So that's something that they'll have to work on for the next game.
And you played Fethard a few weeks ago, Collie. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was good open game. As Alex said, Fethard have some really good players like Gareth Foley there at the back. You have Richie Waters there, had an exceptional game against us. Kicked a couple of long range scores. Brian Powers, very good forward, and Byrne kind of controls thing there in the half forward line. Obviously Tubbert and Mikey Dwyer are the threats inside. I seen the first half against Modern Town yesterday. They kept control of the ball very well, moved to switch the ball a lot from side to side, kept it out of contact. They moved the ball very well, and as I said, if Tubbert and Mikey Dwyer are on fire, they're hard to stop,
And Temon then, Alex, I suppose you mentioned them there with their quarter-final victory over Fethard, but they've had a good wins. They bet Gorey in the quarter-final, and they won their first 3 games in the group before maybe easing off a little bit.
Yeah, I wonder what happened for those last 2 games, whether they just felt that they had done enough to get through, and I'm not sure whether they finished second. I think it was second they finished in the group, so they might have been happy enough at that stage just to relax and maybe bring on and introduce some new players. We played Temon earlier in the year. They were very good at getting back and defending. They created space then. They were great at delivering long ball into the likes of Stephen O'Gorman, Ian Carty, and they delivered. They executed against us, and I'm sure they've been doing the same right throughout the year. So they're ones to watch out for. Again, Temon, they're a good, hard-working team. They battle very well together. They're experienced. They've had ups and downs in intermediate football, but they've been there now to know that this is a vital game that they can win. And I'm sure that they'll be putting everything on the line to do it.
And Collie, your thoughts on the Temon challenge?
Yeah, Temon, obviously they've won their first 3 games, as you were saying. The last 2, I think they shipped 8-30 or something like that, ridiculous score. But I know against Gorey they only conceded 1-8. They're creating a lot of chances all year. Defensively, you have Alan Nolan and Barry O'Gorman, their centre back. Ian Carty is probably one of the better footballers in Wexford at the minute. A lot goes through him. Adam Sinnott is very good in the forwards, and Nico Cullen, full forward, is a handful in there. So they have good players. They show good effort and getting behind the ball, as Alex said, and then going forward they break a pace. So they're definitely giving it a chance.
And we mentioned there about Temon winning their first 3 games and losing the next 2, maybe taking the foot off the pedal. You've managed a team in the championship under the format. Is it something you have to be mindful of, managing the workload on lads and maybe knowing which lads to maybe give a bit of a rest to and stuff like that?
It is. It's very tough, week on week, especially with ourselves anyway. With a small panel, it's very tough. But if it comes down to it, yes, you have to look at the bigger picture. If you're in the quarter final after 3 games, if you have a chance to rest players, by all means, it's definitely something that you have to look at. But the format, as I said, it is very tough. I don't think enough club players are conditioned to play the 8 weeks in a row. Obviously you have your county players who are well conditioned to do it, but the normal club player, especially at intermediate A level, they struggle with the 8 weeks. You pick up a small injury and it's very tough to recover from that then,
And Modern Town obviously experienced that a little bit this year.
Yeah,
different lads with little niggles and knocks.
You look to last year, I suppose in a way we were blessed. We had very few injuries. We were able to get through every game unscathed, and it just goes like that some years. This year it was the complete opposite. We had niggle after niggle, and even yesterday, not that it mattered, but one of our players, Mark Doyle, he's picked up a knock at the end of the game. So it was just unfortunate for us, because we were looking at these games and we were thinking, God, if we had our full strength team, but that's just the way it is, and you can hit good luck or bad luck, and unfortunately it didn't go our way this year, so that's the way it is.
So Temon and Fethard and Alex, who are you going to go for?
It's going to be very close, really close for me. I would tip Fethard just about a point or two, but look, I mean, that's plenty of food for thought for the small men to go out there and win it, but it's very slim for Temon, for Fethard to win it, yeah.
Collie?
I'm actually going to go the opposite way and go for Temon. I think they're creating a lot of chances, they're just not putting them away. I think if they get everything together on the day, I think maybe Temon might sneak it by a couple of points.
And I'm going to make it 2-1 to Fethard, but both of the semi-finals in this grade are being played in New Ross, 4 New Ross district teams. I expect actually that there'll be a big crowd at them and a great atmosphere, and we hope that both games will be very, very good games as well.